Okay, good evening, everyone. Dr. Freedom here. Time for some Doctor Who news. Okay, so as we were talking about yesterday, the fact they're going back to Fuerteventura for filming, turns out we do have confirmation on that. Somebody, I wish I could remember whose picture this was. If you do, please send it to me. I downloaded the photo. I was gonna go stick it in my filming foot, and then dummy me went off. Came back later. It turns out I shut down my thing. I can't find the tweet again that I got it from. So, okay, this was put up earlier today. There's Capaldi in a flap cap on his way to the Canary Islands. So, see, I guess apparently, yeah, filming will be taking place with the cast arriving tomorrow. So we know at least Capaldi's on his way over there. What's going on? We do not know. Okay. Also up today we have a couple of pictures that were shot out. Okay, let's take a look at them very quickly. And these are apparently from Meditation of the Doctor, which is going to be, or the Doctor's Meditation, sorry. And this is the prequel. And there's the one guy, I think his name is Thavors in the back. And then we're off to have a little fun here. Okay, but if you want copies of these, I got them from right here off Doctor Who's page. Okay. Says right here, BBC America released 2 images from the prequel, the Doctor's Meditation. And, of course, you can click on get the bigger version. Okay, that's right. His name's Bors. That's right. All right, here's what BBC America says about Doctor Series 9. In Peter Capaldi's second season at the home of the TARDIS, the series sees the Doctor and Claire going on a journey that takes them to deadly planets, creepy underwater bases, Viking villages, global Zygon uprising, and through hidden alien dens to the very end of time itself. Now, beating monsters old and new, the Doctor come face to face with Missy, a city of Daleks, deadly mercenaries called the Mire, and terrifying ghosts and more. That's what the big bulky guys are. That's right. That's what their name is. The dudes with the big hulking suits we saw with Odin and all that. Yeah, they're the Mire. Doctor's Medications being shown, of course, in North America at the 3D screenings of Dark Water, Death in Heaven, and the long run up to Series 9. Okay, next up, for those of you who are interested in the missing episodes thing and all the stuff that went on in the television archive, this is a Q&A with Sue Malden that went up. All right, let's give you the details they put it. The Q&A was held by the administrators and members of the Doctor Who Missing Episodes discussion group on Facebook. There's a link to it right there. Sue Malden's considered a legend in Doctor Who history. She became the first television archive selector at the BBC in the late 70s and was responsible for putting an end to the junkings and wipings of Doctor Who and other programs' tapes. Without her, the BBC archive today would hold even less 60s and 70s Doctor Who episodes, and then they go into the question and answer session from there. So, once again, this is another person you got to thank, because they were actually tossing stuff in the freaking incinerator. Oh, man. And if not just wiping it over and, other stuff. It was just nuts. But they didn't have enough storage space. But okay. All right, competition roundup. Here's a series of competitions that Doctor Who News has put up. So if you're interested in any of these, here's how you enter them. Here's how you get involved with each of them. Like I said, I generally don't do these myself, but I'm going to leave them here for you guys to decide. Okay, next up. Upcoming Doctor Who Target novelization releases from BBC Audio. All right, of course, the few staples of Doctor Who history that have had the same... see, I already screwed up the sentence. That's a good job there. There are a few staples in Doctor Who histories that have had the same longevity as Target, and from their original publication, subsequent reissues, worldwide success, and many child's first introduction to the program, Target has ruled supreme for almost as long as the show has. Okay, but it says right here, the range will continue into 2016 with State of Decay, which is going to be read by Jeffrey Beavers, the Space Museum, Death of the Daleks and Cybermen, The Invasion, all of which are yet to have their narrators confirmed. Meanwhile, William Russell's performance and Nigel Robinson's adaptation of An Unearthly Child, which was originally scheduled during the 50th anniversary celebrations, but it's due to Audio Go's bankruptcy and rights issues. That one continues to be unavailable, which is sad to hear. So if you're into this type of thing, where they've taken these and they're doing, the audio readings of them, go for it. Okay, next up. Doctor Who Miniatures games have been announced by Warlord Games. Warlord Games has revealed they've been granted the license to produce a miniatures game based off Doctor Who. Now, it says here their license covers not just the latest series of Doctor Who, but encompasses all the Doctors, their companions, and their foes. So, expect to see Sea Devils as much as Weeping Angels, Leela as much as Martha Jones, and a long, brightly colored scarf as much as a fez. And those fez are cool anyway, who cares? Now, the company will produce a starter game as well as a hardback book detailing instructions for how to defeat the Doctor's foes. There'll be a new game system devised to fit into the Doctor universe and to allow the existing characters to work to the best effect. All right, and then he goes into it from there. So if you're into miniatures games and whatnot, Warlords is putting out one for Doctor Who. Okay, Big Finish Big Finish new releases roundup. Here we go. I have listened to this. This is Colin Baker is out now. This is well, that's not the title. It's just out now. This is Colin Baker. Wonderfully done interview by Nick Briggs. This one is just as good, if not better, than the Tom Baker one. And he goes into a lot of detail. You learn a lot of things. He goes into more background on what happened when he got fired and all that stuff. It's some really interesting, great stuff besides Doctor Who. Very, very long, long experiences about his, stage, theater, everything, television. I highly recommend this. All right, next up, cover and cast revealed for the All-Consuming Fire. This is the closest you're going to get to Who-Lock, people. This is, of course, Nick Briggs as the as the Big Finish Sherlock, and Sylvester McCoy, of course, as the Doctor, and it's a crossover between those two. So you may want to consider getting this one. All right, Iris Wild Time Reloaded. I've listened to this as well. Incredible stuff from Iris. Of course, they've done a little changeover and all that, but I love Iris Wild Time. She's just a laugh and a half. It's got some very subtle parodies of Doctor Who, little things that have thrown in. It's really funny. And unfortunately, Big Finish actress Joyce Gibbs passed away, age 87. A lot of the Big Finish audio fans recognize her as the narrator from the first series of Dalek Empire. So it's sad that we lost Joyce Gibbs over this past weekend. All right, next up, Hotsy Totsy Blast, of course, featuring Class Warfare. Okay, we already went over Alan Wakeman passing. There's some stuff about the Radio Times Festival. 3 big names have been added for the Women of Sherlock talk. That's Una Stubbs, Louise Brealey, and Amanda Abington. But that's Sherlock, don't care. All right, Christopher Eccleston said some more stuff about his Class Crusade. If you're into Eccleston and all that, please. He talks a little bit more about that. Plus, he's going to be starring in Midnight's. Sorry, Well, sorry, guys, I already screwed up the title. Okay, he'll be playing DCI Leonard Nipper Reed in Legend, a biopic about the Cray twins. Nipper famously arrested them in 1969. The pair were sentenced to life imprisonment. And he goes on to his views on that. Okay, this was just a simple little thing from Karen Gillan that was put up on Twitter a couple days ago. But she still has the locket she wore as Amy Pond, and she keeps it in her living room in a dish. Okay, Kissing It to Death. I'm going to leave you guys to read that one. Okay, Maisie Williams said that she teased the Doctor Who crew with Game of Thrones spoilers if they annoyed her. She threatened people by giving them spoilers if anyone wound her up and whatnot. That's an amusing story, but it's also, oh wow, I think we talked about that already. And Money Matters with Peter Purvis. Okay, Peter Purvis was interviewed by the Daily Mail, and the surprising turn of events gave them more fuel for their anti-BBC machine. Mind you, I suspect that in Daily Mail fashion, it was blown out of proportion. And it's basically looks like what they did was they took something he said and really, really, made a mountain out of a molehill. So if you're interested in what he had to say about it, here's the quote that, I think got misconstrued. Up to you. Okay, and that's all I got for you today, folks. I didn't think I was going to get through all that. Okay, it turns out Nessie will be here tomorrow. I guess they shipped her out really fast, so I'm looking forward to having that hooked up for tomorrow's broadcast and working. Like I said, I've been really wanting to improve the audio on the broadcast, and this will definitely do it if the reviewers are correct. Oh, well. Enough of that. I'm going to let you folks get on with your lives, get on with your evenings. Until tomorrow, Everybody have a good one. Take care. Hasta la vista, baby.